Okay, here we have it. It's the second video. I've lifted the second section up on this telescopic pot, so just lift and turn, and as you can see, got plenty of room for some more cocoa and perlite. But because we're going to be covering obviously the stem up here, the idea being we're going to get all this to root as well, and see if how that goes in cocoa and perlite, and get some more secondary roots going. With some sharp scissors, I'm just taking off these little branches which are going to be and leaves that. I'm just going to be very careful when I do this. There we go. Always use some sharp scissors. I suppose you could use your fingers and cut them off if you want to. Break them off, but I wouldn't. And then we've got this one here, which I'm also going to cut off, which might look a bit frightening for some, but it's not a problem. And there we go. If you can see there also, it's also flowering quite nicely, which I don't really want it to do. So I'm actually removing the flowers for now. It goes to show this cocoa and perlite will I've had well, it will seems to grow tomatoes quite well. Here I'm putting some clay pebbles in, just a few which I've washed. Now I'm going to put some of this cocoa and perlite in. There we go. Tend to find all sorts in here. In fact, I'm going to use a bigger jug. Take some filling. There we go. It does take some filling. It's quite a big telescopic pot, this one. There we go. Again, I shan't be bothering to water it in. The other smaller telescopic pot in the previous video I topped up quite easily. It was soaked up in no time, just a few, in that couple of 2 or 3 hours it was already damp. The compost was, the cocoa and perlite was, so not really a problem. There we go. Let's put some more in. Then we're not quite sure why I'm doing this, or I haven't watched any videos. What I'm doing is I'm growing a sucker which has got no primary roots at all in this telescopic pot, and as it grows I'm just covering the main stem up as it grows. Instead of what you'd normally do, you probably bury a couple of berries as deep as you probably could in the pot and then leave it. I'm doing it, I'm letting it grow and continue, because it's a telescopic pot, continue covering the stem up as it grows. And what we shall have is a really good root system. I mean, this is growing really quickly, quicker than expected. These clay balls are okay. They soak the liquid plant food in here, because obviously it's got no nutrients, this hasn't, quite well, and also the roots will grab onto it pretty much quite solidly. Excuse me, I'm not very good at talking and doing the job at once. I prefer just to keep quiet. But yeah, I'll give it a bit of a mix in. And so this has only been growing for 9 days. The sucker was planted roughly 9 days, and obviously it's shot up in this grow tent. So I'm not tempting fate or anything, but I'm hoping it carries on in a similar vein. But as you can see, it might seem to some of you, even some older or younger gardeners, thinking What the hell's he doing this for? In cutting flowers off, and you just leave it to grow. The reason is that this has been, I normally do it in a greenhouse, because what happens is when it's fully up here, the pot, the tomatoes are lower down instead of up here, and I can get a lot more trusses in my greenhouse when I've got a limited height space. And you really do, because you've got a really good root system, a lot probably deeper than you normally would. You're not transplanting. You'd normally plant a seed or a sucker, or wherever you want plug plant. Let it grow in the bottom, then you take it inside where it's warm, and later on maybe you put this section on before you take it out, depending on the weather. Then you take it to its final place. As it grows, you keep lifting the section up, and the roots are growing all the time, and they're not just normally. I mean, I see a lot of the hydroponics where you get a fantastic root system, all these great big long roots coming from the bottom of the tomato plant, which I understand, that's how it goes, and you've got space in between, it gets all its nutrients or whatever. But to me, I'm just seeing if I can take more advantage of how a tomato does grow, or wants to grow, where it wants to probably fall over and root along all its stem, and get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, so to speak. And so I suppose I'm going back to where my dad used to do this with a small pot, and then get a slightly bigger one, cut the top and bottom off it. Cut the top and bottom of it, slide that underneath, make it a bit bigger, and let that grow for a bit, and then you get one slightly bigger, and probably do that until you get the final one, top of the pot. You would just cut the bottom off, slide that up, and that would be another way of doing it telescopically. But I've decided to 3D print and design my own to give it a go. And there we nearly enough of it. Some nice, I like these pebbles, I must admit, these clay pebbles. They really do seem to help with this cocoa and perlite. It's very light, even when it's damp. It's not compact like soil, which is a good thing. It's what we're looking for, obviously, because the roots now will be, the bottom roots will be, I've obviously got the clay pebbles underneath, right underneath, and the roots will be inside that for now, taking up all the nutrients, and so we need air getting into this aerated cocoa and perlite, and these clay pebbles will help with that. The perlite will help with that, and that's it. I'm only doing this video because I know there's maybe only one or two people who might be interested in winter tomatoes and what I'm doing, and maybe this telescopic pot and what's happening. But even one person watches it, it's just interesting. It's nice to have a friend, I suppose, who might be interested in something similar to what I'm doing. And there we go. Quite happy with that. And yeah, it's growing really well. I mean, if you can imagine how deep them roots must have gone already, and hopefully the same again. Pretty sure it's going to be fine, but I just don't like the template. But there we go. I'll just put the last one in there. It will go down a little bit and it soaks the nutrients up out of the tray, but there we go. But there we have it. There we go. And so yeah, that's finished now. And so it'll grow again, and as it grows, we're all the way up here again. The main stem will get stronger, There'll be a lot more roots. This will fill with more rooting. It'll continue rooting in the through this from the stem for weeks ahead, and hopefully going down to gathering the nutrients up. And the more roots you've got, the quicker you can get the nutrients up to the tomato plant. And hopefully, when this is fully extended, I will be removing any flowers what come until it's fully extended, and then I shall leave the flowers, and hopefully we'll be getting lots and lots of tomatoes on it, and it'll be a really healthy plant. I've done it with the normal compost, a telescopic pot, and I'm not going to deny it's brilliant. I'm really happy with it because I got loads of tomatoes. I don't mean 1 or 2 tomatoes, I'm on about the main stem is like a tree trunk. And I believe it's because how it's planted in this telescopic way. It just gets thicker and thicker and thicker. The root does. Your tomatoes start a lot lower down at the bottom of the pot. I get 6-7 trusses in my little greenhouse, where normally you plant it normally like this. Your tomatoes start foot and a half up in the air or something like that, and maybe dangle down a bit. I get the biggest bunches of tomatoes you've ever seen. The size of them are terrific. And my plant's always healthy because the root system is really good, and the roots have always got room to grow. Yeah. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. I apologise for me stumbling a bit when it comes to talking, but I do have learning difficulties. But I hope this is of some use to somebody. Okay, thank you.